everyone, what is going on? My name is actualcodex, and in today's Payday 2 video, we've got some console news to be talking about in terms of the next DLC update for Payday 2 on Xbox One and PlayStation 4. It feels good to be doing a console video again. It's been a while since I've done one, and I know I've had a few complaints from people on comments saying that I've abandoned consoles or something. The thing you have to remember, and I will get more into this at the end of the video because I do want to talk about it a tiny bit, but the thing to remember is that I can only report console news when it happens, and there hasn't been console news now for like a month and a half, so I can't make videos on something that isn't happening, you know what I mean? So I've focused on PC because I've had chance to, because console hasn't had anything happening with it, and that's why I've been doing a PC focus. I want to try and balance things out and do PC and console, but if I have to choose between the two, console will come first. It has done before, it always will do going forward. Also, I'm pretty sure my voice sounds a bit croaky or just a bit strained. I went to see Emotional Oranges last night. It's a band that I really like, and if you've been on my streams, you know I use their music a lot in my intro-outro cards for live streams. I really love the band. I went to see them live, and I shouted along to almost every single song they did, so my voice is now paying the price for it the next morning. So if I do sound a bit different, it should only be for this video, so please forgive it if you can. Either way, we've got some console news to talk about, so let's not drag this intro out any further. My name is actualcodex, welcome back to the channel, and let's talk about some Payday 2 console updates. So in a similar fashion to a lot of my Payday 2 console news videos, we're going to be looking at a brand new post on the Steam forums by Goris, one of the members of the Overkill team, who works on developing the console updates. He's created a new thread called Payday 2 Update 1.5, and the post reads, "Hi Heisters, you may have read the recent news regarding the new DLC on PC. The team has been working hard, and even if the DLC is not ready for consoles yet, we will get some of the changes in our consoles update. Content-wise, some parts have been communicated already, such as Crime Spree, and we are looking forward to sharing more with you all soon once we get some feedback from QA. We have already started working on the update following this one, and the comeback of the Payday 2 development is only good news for our console heisters. During the most recent update in May, we peaked at about 100,000 unique daily heisters on both PS4 and Xbox One, and we hope to surpass that with what is coming in the next update, so get your crew ready for a new heist. See you in crime now." Now, there's quite a few things I want to cover here. There's some very subtle little additions that I really think we need to have some discussion about, and not stuff that's like dragging the video out. I mean, genuinely, there are some hints and teasers in here that I thought were quite interesting and some bits of wording. So, first off, let's look at the first paragraph where they said, "We will get some of the changes in our consoles update." So, what they're saying is, whatever they're going to add in the next PC update alongside the border crossing heist, so maybe a new feature, some new weapon tweaks or something, whatever it is they're going to do on PC, console are going to get it right after in this next update whenever it drops, which hopefully should be this month or next month from the way he's wording it, but I'll get into release dates in a little bit. Back in 2017, when the Reservoir Dogs heist was released on PC, there was an LMG buff that overhauled the stats of all the light machine guns in Payday 2 and made them unique and powerful and not just reskins of assault rifles that weren't really worth using. That update came out in November 2017, and the next console update after that was in February 2018, and in that update we got the LMG buff, although even to this day we still don't have Reservoir Dogs. So sometimes when an update releases other changes, they'll put those changes onto console and keep working on bringing the big things over like heists, etc. over a period of time. So it seems they're going for a similar strategy again here, so whatever it is they release that's small will get on console not long after. But considering this is the first Payday 2 update on PC for about a year with new content, I'm almost hesitant to think there might be something interesting here, like an actual big feature or some kind of overhaul that might well be really, really worth focusing on, rather than just saying, oh, Pistol's got a bit of a buff. Oh, that's cool. Or, you know, that kind of thing. So, you know, maybe something good's cooking here, but I don't know what it is, so we'll have to just wait and see. Next up is the confirmation that Crime Spree will be in the next update. I know this was promised last time, so it should be in this update now, and it's logical that it will be, but it is promised that Crime Spree is coming in the next update, but they're also doing some QA right now, so they're testing the update. It's already ready to go. They just need to test it, make sure there's no bugs, and then they can send it off to Sony and Microsoft for approval. The approval process takes a few weeks, so honestly I wouldn't expect it just yet. I'm thinking late November if they do manage to get it out fast enough, but it all depends on what happens with QA, so we've just got to keep an eye on whether he posts again. But then he tells us all they've already started working on the update following this next one, so the update that comes out in a month or two, that's already done. Like I've said, it's boxed off, they've got testing going on it, so they'll have it out sooner or later. But the next update, they're already developing things for, so probably new heists or weapons, things like that. They've already got those cooking for the next update to release, presumably in early to mid 2020. And he's also said that Payday 2 coming back on PC is only good news for console heisters, which is something I'd like to reiterate, only because a lot of comments I've had recently have said, does it mean now that because Payday 2 is getting more PC support that console will suffer, and that console will have less people developing for it, or it will take longer to get console updates out? A lot of people have asked me that. To make this as obvious as I can, Overkill have very separate development teams. They have one for PC, they have one for console, presumably they have one for Switch. Goris mentioned it at one point, but considering there's literally nothing about Switch in this post, there hasn't been anything about Switch DLC for roughly a year and a half. I don't know whether that bit's true. I really honestly don't, to be honest with you. But there is a separate team for PC as there is to Xbox One and PS4. So the fact that PC started up development again, that hasn't impacted the console development team. There's still a group of people working on console updates, and that hasn't changed regardless of what's been happening with this news. And then finally, let's look at the last paragraph. So he says, during the most recent update, they peaked at about 100,000 unique daily heisters, which is quite impressive, really, when you think about that was roughly what Payday 2 had on PC when they made the game free to play a year or two ago. So that's really impressive to have that many people playing console. I wasn't sure how many people still played Payday, so I'm really glad to see we got quite a big number of players. But then he says at the very end about getting ready for a new heist. Now, I could be reading too much into this, but the fact that he's only said a new heist and not some new heist suggests that they're only going to be porting one heist over in the next update. There are some conclusions you can make from this. First off, you could say, well, maybe it's because they spent so much time working on Crime Spree and getting that ready that they just want to put it out the door and they've just thrown in one new heist to make it more interesting for everybody. Or you could say, and this is the one I'm thinking, that maybe they do have more heists they want to put in this update, but depending on what happens with QA, they may have to pull them out if there's bugs and just release the update without those heists. Because think about it, if their update was going to have, say, 3 heists and Crime Spree, and 2 of the heists were buggy and needed a bit more attention, would you then delay the whole update so that players didn't get any of it for a much longer period, or would you release Crime Spree and the one heist that works, and then keep working on the other 2 heists and release them in the next update? Hopefully I shouldn't need to answer that question, but in case I do, basically, getting Crime Spree and the one heist that's ready out would be far more logical. So, whatever they're going to have ready from QA, they'll put out, but maybe they'll have 2 or 3 heists. Maybe they're just saying a new heist because at least one is ready to go, and they may have more to add on top after that. But that rounds off the post, so it's some very interesting things to know about consoles. So we know an update is coming. We already knew that for the last couple of months that one's in the works. We know Crime Spree will be in it, and at least one new heist. So what will that heist be? Well, in terms of the chronology, the next heist that we're due from PC is the Diamond Heist, the remaster or remake from Payday the Heist, one of the last classic heists we don't have on console, except for No Mercy. So it's a good heist to actually get into. I've played it a bit on PC, and it is good fun, although I've not really tried to stealth it yet, so that's something new I could do on console when it comes out. I'll leave my stealthing experiences to when that happens. And then Crime Spree, from what I've played on PC, Crime Spree is one of the most important things in Payday. I stand by it. It is such good fun to play through and experience, and it's a really good way to get replayability out of the game when you've played every single heist before. It takes away the agency, because sometimes I feel that a lot of the time on Payday when you're stuck about what to do, it's because you've got so many choices of heists that you've already played before. So here, it'll make the decision for you, and it's like, pick out of these 3 heists and go with it. I mean, obviously you can re-roll and get new options, but the whole point is they're taking away a lot of the agency, and for people like me who've played Payday as much as I have, that could be actually quite useful sometimes. And the grinding to get more rewards and armor skins, etc., which I hope will also be in this update. It's good. It's really worth the time. I'm presuming the armor skins will come over with this update, considering that was like the main draw to playing Crime Spree on PC to start with. They were the unique prizes you could get, so if they're not on the console's update, then we'll have problems, but I'm thinking they should be. I'm hoping they will be. But like I've said, for a release, I'm aiming for late November / going into December. I think it'll be out before Christmas, hopefully, provided there's no major QA issues. But the main period of time that it takes is getting Sony and Microsoft to approve it. So, provided they can approve it quickly and provided QA doesn't bring up any unneeded issues, the Payday update will be out before the new year arrives. So, get ready, get excited. There's something new coming for consoles, and as soon as it does drop, we'll have news videos, live streams, all that good stuff ready to go when it does. But that rounds off the console news discussion. So just right at the end, I want to throw on this little bit I was saying about PC and console development. Let me just say very clearly that, as I've said at the start of the video, the focus with me has always been console videos. It's always been talking about the console news, making sure everyone on console has all the news up to date and they know what's coming in each new update and what's happening, etc. But since I've been able to upgrade my setup and I have a better laptop now that can run Payday on PC, I find it daft to not do at least some PC things, because then I can balance out the content between them both and I'm less likely of running out of ideas. Because a lot of the time when I've been doing console content, I've got to weeks and thought, well, this week there's nothing happening with console, what do I do for a video? And either I do a Payday video that doesn't get as many views, like a solo stealth, or I try and do a video that isn't Payday and get no views whatsoever, and that it's not really worth the amount of editing I put into it, because a lot of people don't care for my content that isn't Payday. Not a problem, I understand that's the way YouTube works. A lot of people care more about the content than the person. So those of you who watch anything I upload, I really do appreciate that. My Modern Warfare video has over 1,000 views, so I'm grateful for that. But the point is, I'm constantly trying to think of Payday video ideas as a priority, so if I can do PC and console, I'm less likely to run out of ideas. I can cover both platforms at the same time, and hopefully get some PC following behind me as well. I want to try and have followings for both console and PC and try and bring people together, because a lot of them don't really talk to each other, relate to each other, because they're on different platforms with technical differences, etc. So if the community can have a serious amount of people for both platforms, I'm more than happy with that. That's something I'd like to see. But if I have to choose, console updates will come first and PC discussions will come after console things are finished, because I play on Xbox One. I prefer Payday on Xbox One, and not sound stupid when I've played it on PC and I've modded it and all that. It's great, all stuff I've done on PC, but I always play on my Xbox One. It's the console that I love. I love playing on consoles. So I hope that answers the questions people have been having about my priorities about console and PC on Payday. So console comes first, but PC will always be happening in the meantime when console hasn't got anything going on. And considering this update's going to be happening for both platforms now, I'm going to have my work cut out for me. So I'm really excited to get into that. But either way, that brings then to the console news video. If you have enjoyed it, please do consider giving it a thumbs up, because it's always very much appreciated. And if you are new around here, please do consider hitting subscribe, because it's quick, it's free, and I'll always love you for doing so. And if you do fancy supporting me over on Patreon, there is a link in the description on the top right corner of the screen now. Donations are never expected, but always appreciated, and will always go to helping me and the channel. But until then, guys, thank you all for watching. I'll see you next week with a brand new video. So until then, look after yourselves, take it easy, and I'll see you all soon.